Happy with Motor City Nerds, Dead City, episode 4. I like this. Remember to subscribe. We're on our way to 2,000. It helps me out so much. Just liking the video helps. Leaving a comment helps. My other stuff's up. We're definitely going to get out of this Ford shirt and your declining ass fucking quality while you bring in scabs to fucking get rid of workers. We don't do that. We're not representing that no more. That's what we're not going to do. Because we don't support corrupt unions and we don't support quality dropping to bring in temps and get rid of American workers. Sorry. I had to get out of the Ford shirt because we do not represent Local 600 UAW or Ford Motor Company Dearborn Truck Plant just so you can bring in these people to pay less money and then fire them before they can get fully hired in and get benefits. We don't support that. We also don't support unions who cover up sexual assault, sexual harassment, assault. We don't support that. We don't support that. So we had to get out of that shirt. But yeah, let's talk about Dead City. I am really enjoying this. And it's really doing a good job where The Walking Dead started struggling of not dilly-dallying. I really, really liked this episode. I thought it was kind of odd. I thought it could have been a little more action-packed, but I liked what they were saying there. This is more nuanced than it has been, this specific thing, and I'm loving it for that. There's a couple times Mom was like, what the hell? And I was like, hey, it's kind of pulling the Rick, like when Rick's talking way too much to Negan, and you're like, shoot, 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 but we'll get to that and why Negan was like that. So in the beginning of the episode, we have the flashback. And this is becoming a theme. And like I said, I think that Hershel is a little snake who's going to flip. Not a little snake. He's getting brainwashed. And I think he's going to end up on Croat's side. And Maggie's going to be devastated. That's what I've been saying. So when he ended up not being dead, because I was like, no way, you're going to do this to Maggie. I was like, oh, but I do think he's going to flip sides. But if you notice, Croat is using children throughout this. And I liked seeing the flashback and seeing Grand Theft Auto guy and Negan and them. And it's like, in my other review, if you want to go watch that, feel free. I talk about how Negan had jobs for people. Some of them were more gruesome than others, but he did have jobs for people. And he thought Croat would be good at interrogation and whatever and putting fear in them, but he didn't realize how much of a mad dog he was, which is kind of telling me that in this next episode, next week, we're going to find out who's really in charge, because a dog off its leash like that ain't somebody who can actually lead. We get the flashback, and I thought it was interesting a couple episodes ago when he said, this is why I shot his ear off, and they used the term girl, not woman. So I was like, you could mean, and not that an 18-year-old or a 17-year-old isn't a girl, but you think very differently when you see an 11 or 12-year-old versus someone going into their 20s soon. You know what I mean? And I like that they put this body in between those ages, because it's like, oh my God, it was a little girl, and it was worse than we thought. And I even liked Grand Theft Auto character saying, you know, we don't do that. We don't do that, you psychopath. Because remember, Negan used people as a resource in a different way, not like Croat. But then we see him Croat's working with the kid at the computer. We still haven't seen Hershel. I'm assuming that he's brainwashing him a little bit. Really loved Negan and Maggie's back and forth of, I don't think you're understanding. It's almost like an alcoholic going into a liquor store for the first time, you know, after getting sober. They're like, I don't think you understand. Like, I can't go face-to-face with him again and realize it. But it's also a Frankenstein's monster type thing. This is happening because he learned from Negan. So this is partially, you can't blame yourself, but it is partially because he learned this from Negan. He knew what to do. So Negan feels responsible. That's what I was trying to tell my mom. I'm like, it's not that he doesn't want to shoot at him, plus his entire army's there, so what's going to happen after that? But also, he's kind of in shock. Like, what have I done? What monster have I created that it's all this now? Did like the use of kids throughout it. And now we have Jenny, is that her name there? And Maggie runs into her. So we have this kid. We have the tortured kid in the beginning. So now it's almost as if Negan is trying to save this girl now because he couldn't save that girl back then from Croat. In the last episode, they were having that discussion about the New York people were like, oh, we want to have a baby, but we know it's the end of the world and that's a bad idea. And so it's like, that's a big theme here. And yeah, but I liked the way they used it in this. And I didn't think The Walking Dead would be very nuanced ever. And I felt like the stuff with Negan and Croat and even with Maggie and Negan has gotten more and more nuanced throughout it. It's not just hitting you right over the head with it. And I like that. Or you can just enjoy it for a zombie run around the town. That's fine too. They get into the compound. Obviously, it's where they keep prisoners that they torture, and we're seeing a lot of gruesome stuff in all these rooms. We think there's Hershel. It's not him, thank God. But I still do think there's going to be a flip. But now they're going to go to the Coliseum, to the arena, and on the way there, Maggie makes a comment about the drains and the methane. That could just be because they have to get in at the end of the episode, but I'm assuming, no, they're going to blow up the entire city now. And I was afraid, if you watch my other review, I was afraid they were going to go too close to Cersei Lannister. I was like, we were going too close to the Sept of Baelor blowing up. And I didn't want them to do a straight-up copy, but that wasn't it. That wasn't it. One, I liked the flare, but the Croats people blew open all the doors to let the dead in while they were in there. And then instead of us thinking like I also said, is this going to be like Land of the Dead when they have cage matches and cage fights with zombies? That's kind of, no, it got flipped where they needed to use it to protect themselves, and I thought that was cool. And I thought the fight with the zombies through the arena was really awesome. I thought that was cool. I thought that, yeah, they weren't main characters, but you're killing a lot of people off. You stopped doing that for a while. I was here for that. After seeing Croat blow the barrels the way he did, and now Maggie noticing the methane coming out of all the drains, I'm like, oh no, they're going to blow up all of New York by the end of this. Oh, also, people started asking about Luther. And I'm kind of worried that Luther's going to end up being related to, God dang it, what's his name? What's the black guy Marshall's name? The Marshal. Well, I don't want to say Rodney. I don't think that's it. But I'll look it up in a second. I think they might have been related, but maybe not. But either way, people were like, where's Luther at? And I'm just saying, at the end of the world, I think I'd know where my crew is if it was that small. I know where my friends are now, kind of. But I'm like, I think I know where Luther was. And I like Negan and Maggie's back and forth of her, like, she knows that he did something. And he's like, what? And you ain't never had to do something before? And it was a necessity. And notice Maggie don't question that shit. She don't question it. And I did like their back and forth about being a parent. Like when she hit the harmonica. And that was saying a lot of stuff, but it was like, we're relating on a parent level type deal. And I don't expect things like that from The Walking Dead, honestly. I truly don't. Because I just got so used to the walking around boringness for 3 seasons that I forgot. After they get out of the torture area, now they're into the arena. Like I said, we find Jenny. They're in the cage fight thing, but Negan is totally separate. And when we heard the whistling going on, the Negan whistle, I loved that. And then, of course, Croat can't resist. He's chasing after Negan. He's chasing after him, and it's almost as if he wants Negan to be proud of him and what he's done. Like, look what you did with the Sanctuary. I've done it times 10. Aren't you so proud of me? First, Negan's hiding, though. Because, like, again, Mom was getting mad at that, and I was like, no, he doesn't want to face what this is because he had a hand in it. Whether he did it on purpose or not, he had a hand in this guy lived because of me. And now look what he's done. I did like Croat bringing up Lucille, because by bringing up Lucille and saying that she's broken, that was when Negan changed. That was very symbolic of when he lost Lucille and snapped, a new Negan came back, or a different Negan came out that we didn't see, but maybe the past parts of Negan were coming through more after we see that symbolism of Lucille breaking. So I liked Croat bringing that up, but I think after he did that was when Croat finally realized, like, you ain't the same guy you were before. You're something else. And so when he chucks the Marshal over and Negan chooses to save him and run off, I think Croat is genuinely pissed that Negan doesn't think everything he's done is cool. He's genuinely pissed that Negan didn't stand and fight. And he's just like, what is going on? I think he's kind of in shock, too. But the whole other crew, besides Negan, is realizing, no, this whole thing is a trap. This whole thing is a trap. We're not going to be able to get out of here. And they got to go into the sewers full of methane. But I think they want us to think that's going to get really bad. And I'm sure it will. Sewers are gross. But I think they're going to blow up all of New York. But yeah, Croat has a really good monologue. And he's like, you taught me all this, all that. So that part, it's on the nose. But you can think past it. And I stopped thinking The Walking Dead would do that. Croat's essentially saying, this could be a kingdom, Negan. Look at this kingdom I made. You made a sanctuary. I made a kingdom. And he's like, no. And it bugs Croat. I know the Marshal's a dick, but, oh my God, didn't Negan call him a dick? I like that line. But I know he's a dick, but I do appreciate that he sticks to his guns. He sticks to his ideologies. He sticks to what he has stood by this entire time. So even after Negan saved him, he's like, no, you're wanted. And I really love this, like, slight Western vibe they're keeping with, the wanted posters and the Marshal and him coming into town in the silhouette, like opposite of Rick's in the beginning of The Walking Dead. And then even Negan wearing like the straw hat in the flashbacks and working on the fields. But then again, with saying Negan robbed a bank. And it's like, this is all very like old Western themes underneath what's going on. Yeah, not a lot went on, but a lot went on. And I don't know how to say that because it's going to be a short one. But tell me what you thought about this episode. I did. I liked everything with Croat. I loved hearing the Negan whistle. The Negan whistle was great. Do you think they're going to blow up New York? Did you think they were going to pull... I thought the barrels were on our side, and then I was like, oh, no, they want them trapped in there. Oh, and this is the best part. Okay, so I've been saying that Negan's going to die, right? Or Maggie. But now, after what my mom said, I'm like, no, that could also work for an arc of a character, is if Negan gets hurt and is about to either get left behind or left for dead or is dying, and Maggie chooses to let that resentment go and save him. And I was like, that could also work. So maybe that's what's going to happen. And I was so glad my mom said that, because I was like, no, I've been worried this whole time, because it just makes sense thematically to kill Negan. And I don't want that to happen. But I was like, no, if Maggie can let go and save him, then that could work too. But I'm Abby with Motor City Nerds. Tell me what you're thinking about Dead City, and tell me what you guys want me to cover. Because if not, I'm just gonna start yelling about Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon and stuff, and other stuff I want to. Oh, we have a Scarface review coming up for its anniversary, Kill Bill anniversary, Pirates of the Caribbean. We're gonna talk about that. I have tons of anniversary reviews that I've been working on, and I'm really excited about. But yeah, let me know what shows you guys are watching. Let me know what I should check out. Yeah, it's just I'm on OF, I'm on TikTok, I'm on all the stuff down below. Check it out. But I truly am enjoying this. And I'm really sorry, because I would cover The Witcher, but this is true. This is the God's honest truth. The last time I made a video about The Witcher, it caused so much chaos in my life, because two people I grew up with thought it was a personal attack against them, that they went out of their way to make my life a living hell. And it was insane. If you guys want to hear me talk about The Witcher, let me know, because I don't really care about those basement dwellers, and hopefully they are just zooted and can't pay attention anymore, because that was absolute insanity.